Okay, everybody, I'm going to talk you through chapter 37, the work you have up online. So, question 1. I would always draw out the triangle first of all. So, 78, 46, x, and 8. And in question 1, you're looking to find x. Remember the rules. 3 sides or 2 sides in the in-between angle is cosine rule. I don't have that, so it's going to be sine rule. And if you remember the sine rule, it's side over sine the opposite angle. So side over sine the opposite angle equals side over sine the opposite angle. You want x on its own, so you bring this up and it becomes a multiplying. And you just put that into your calculator as it is. So if you want to watch me going through mine, 8 times sine 78, close the brackets, divide it by sine 46. Gives you an answer of 10.9. Number 2, again, draw it out, please. So you've got x, 36, 23, and 10.5. Again, I am checking for 2 sides and the in-between angle, I don't have it, or checking for all 3 sides, I don't have it. So it's going to be the sine rule again. So it's side over sine the opposite angle equals side over sine the opposite angle. So we've got to work out that opposite angle here, which where my finger is. So it is 180 minus 36 minus 23. So 180 minus 36 minus 23 gives you 121. So it's 121. I want the x on its own, so bring this up and it becomes multiply. So it's 10.5 times sine 23 divided by sine 121. And again on the calculator, 10.5 times sine 23, close the bracket, divided by sine 121. Gives you x to be 4.8. Question 3. You have got ABC triangle, A, B, C, BAC. So BAC, the middle tells you where the angle is at, and that is 58 degrees. An angle ABC, so the angle at B is 42, and A to C is 6.6. Calculate BC. I don't have 3 sides, and I don't have the 2 sides and the in-between angle, so it's sine rule again. So side over sine the opposite angle equals side over sine the opposite angle. You want the x on its own, so bring that across and multiply. And again, just straight forward into your calculators. So it's 6.6 times sine 58, close the brackets, divided by sine 42, gives you an answer of 8.4. Question 4 now. PQR is a triangle in which angle QPR, so the angle in it P is 55, and PQR, the angle in it Q is 30, and Q to R is 14, and I want P to Q. Again, I don't have 3 sides, and I don't have 2 sides and the in-between angle, so it's a sine rule. So it's side over sine the opposite angle equals side over sine, and again I've got to work out this angle in here. So 180 minus 55 minus 30. Just double check it on the calculator so don't make any mistakes. 95. Don't worry if it doesn't look like 95 in your diagram, that's fine. You want the x on its own, so bring this up and it becomes a multiply. Sine 55 equals x. So just again, 14 times sine 95, close the brackets, divide it by sine 55, gives me x to be 17.0 centimetres. Question 5. So each of these, draw them out. 68, 6.3, 7.1. And I want the angle ACB. So ACB. I want this angle in here. I don't have 2 sides and the angle in between. And I don't have 3 sides. So it's sine rule again. side over sine the opposite angle equals side over sine the opposite angle. What you're looking for is in the bottom, so you must bring it up. Now you're going to rearrange this to get sine A on its own. This is a division, so when you bring it up here it becomes a multiplication. This here is a multiplication, so when it comes over it becomes a division. So you just put that in your calculators as it stands. 6.3 times sine 68, close your brackets, divided by 7.1. Gives you sine to be 0.8227. You want the angle on its own. So you bring this sine over, and that's when it becomes inverse. So inverse sine, your answer. So in your calculator, it's shift sine answer to give you 55.4 degrees. Question 6 over the page. So again, always draw out your triangle A, B, C. 2.4, 102 and 6.3. I don't have 3 sides and I don't have 2 sides and the angle in between. So it's sine rule. So side over sine the opposite angle equals side over, I read the question here, the angle BCA. So BCA, I'm looking for this angle in here. So it's side over sine the angle. So bring this up, because what you can't have is what you're looking for in the bottom. So it's just exactly the same as the last question. Rearrange this. So this comes across to be a multiply. This comes across to be a division. And you're left with sine A here. So just in your calculator with that, 2.4 times sine 102. I just press the equals button there instead of pressing the brackets. That's fine, it'll work out. So 0.3726. So getting rid of this sine on its own is inverse sine. So inverse sine, your answer, 21.9 degrees. Question 7. You see, but yeah, just checking them. PQR is a triangle in which QR is 7, PR is 15, and the angle in it Q is 124. Doesn't look like 124, but don't worry about that. Just go with it. You don't have 3 sides. You don't have 2 sides and the angle between them, so it's sine rule. I better look what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the angle QPR. So QPR, I'm looking for this angle. So side over sine the opposite angle equals side over sine the opposite angle. Bring this up as a multiplication. It does get very repetitive, and if you can do it a little quicker, that's fine. So 7 times sine 124. This comes over to be a division. So sine A equals that. So just putting that in your calculators. 7 times sine 124 equals, divided by 15, gives me 0.387. So bring this across and do inverse. So it's inverse sine 0.387. So shift sine answer. So A equals 22.76 degrees. Okay, number 8. ABC. ABC is a triangle in which B to C is 5.9, A to C is 4.7, and angle BAC. This angle in here is 106. So 106 for that angle in there. Calculate the angle BCA. So BCA, I'm looking for this angle here. Okay, I don't have 2 sides in the in-between angle, or I don't have 3 sides. So it's going to be sine rule. 5.9 over sine 106 equals side over, I have to use this angle in here because it's opposite, so just call that angle B. So sine B. Doesn't matter what you call that one. So do your normal rigmarole. Sine B over sine 106 equals 4.7. So they want the b in its own. So that comes across to be multiplication. So it's 4.7 times sine 106. This one's over to be a division, 5.9. Sine b equals that. So sine b is 4.7 times sine 106 equals, or brackets, divided by 5.9 gives you 0.7657. Bring your sign across and do inverse sine. So on your calculator, shift sign answer to give you 49.97 or 50 degrees. But I don't want that angle, I want the angle A. So A is 180 minus your 106 minus your 50. So 180 minus 106 minus 50 to give me 24 degrees. And 2 left. Question 9. So you've got 39, 4.7, 3.8, and you want AC. You want this line. You do have 2 sides plus in between angle. So this time it's the cosine rule. So A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC times cosine A. So this is my A, angle A. So I start over here with side A. So x squared equals the other 2 sides squared plus, make it a wee bit clear there, 4.7 squared plus 3.8 squared minus 2 times 4.7 times 3.8 times cosine 39. So if you can remember back to when I was going over the cosine rule with you, you do them in pairs. 4.7 squared add 3.8 squared gives you 36.53. Take away 2 times 4.7 times 3.8 times cosine 39 gives you 27.75965. So x squared is 36.53 minus your answer, 8.77. So x is the square root of that. So I'm just going to go square root answer on the calculator to give me 2.96. And last question. Okay, so you have got 27.2, 18.4, 63.7. And I want the length AB. So again, I've got the 2 sides and the angle between them. So it's the cosine rule. So A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC times cosine A. So this is your angle, so I'm starting opposite it. So x squared, the other 2 sides squared, minus 2 times the other 2 sides, times cosine the angle between them. Again, do it in the pairs. So x squared equals, so 18.4 squared add 27.2 squared gives me 1078.4. Take away 2 times 18.4 times 27.2 times cosine 63.7, and that's 443.5. So just on your calculators, 1078.4, take away your answer, gives you 634.9. So x is the square root of that. So square root your answer to give you 25.2.